We're rolling.
Okay. Can you please state your name and when you were born?
Yes, my name is Rickey Lee Petty, and I was born on November 28th, 1953. And I was raised in Venice all my life on Electric Avenue. My childhood that I can remember, it was nothing but fun. Everything was happy-go-lucky. There was just a lot of happiness. Going to Westminster School, which is right up the street, and running right across the street to go home, and off to the marina, chasing the rabbits and squirrels, and raising chickens and ducks in my backyard, and goats. Back then it was like you could have just about anything you wanted as far as animals are concerned, because I was an animal person. And it was just a lot of happy-go-lucky times. It was beautiful. I had no black friends as I was growing up. I didn't even know coming up that there were even black gay people until I was 24, because everyone that I knew and was raised with, other than my immediate family, were all white and Mexican. And I spoke fluent Spanish. All of my neighbors were Mexican, and it was a lot of Mexican food and a lot of my friends that we just hunted hunted. I mean, we would hop on the railroad tracks that were right across the street, hop on the back of that train and ride it into the marina and go hunting the rabbits, because there was nothing but fields back then. There was no Marina del Rey. It was all just one big wilderness of wildlife. On Electric Avenue, right where Abercrombie is, all those buildings were not there. It was just train tracks. And right across the street were the train tracks. So me and my friends would wait till the train was coming, and we'd all run and jump on the back of the train and ride it all the way. And that was dangerous, but we were wild kids. And we rode the trains all the way from where Abercrombie and, let's say, Westminster is, all the way into the Marina del Rey on the back of the trains. We would hop off the trains, go into the little jungle, we call it the jungle, the woods. Back then we were little kids, and we would go and hunt rabbits. And we would catch them as children. My mother thought we were nuts. And we would come back with rabbits, and me and my friends would cook them in the backyard. I'm sorry, I'm just telling the truth, because we were just wild and crazy kids, and it was one of the best times of my life, hunting the fields of the Marina del Rey. In my family, no one was racist. We had no problem with everybody. I had problems with my friends because I couldn't come over their house. I would have to wait outside or wait down the street or something like that, and I have to wait for them to come out for us to go anywhere. And if I went to their house, I would hide in the bushes all the time while they went in, or if their parents weren't home, they would let me come in the house. And oh, my father's coming home, you gotta go. And I would run out the back door, and because a lot of my friends' parents were racist. I mean, I didn't realize then that's what it was, or I don't even know if that is what it was now. But it was a fact that back at that time, I couldn't go into anyone's homes. A lot of the mothers of my friends had no problem. It's the daddies that had a issue with their children with the blacks. That's just the way it was. And that's why I just gravitated towards the friendships that developed. But the mothers were wonderful. One of my best friends was James Pratt, and another friend was Terry Smith. And oh my God, they're all gone. They're all gone. But not from AIDS. But I found out they passed. Gosh. Anyway, memories. The schools I went to were Westminster, Broadway Elementary, Mark Twain Junior High, Venice High.
Did you have any favorite teachers at Venice High?
Yes, Mrs. Patterpuff. She was my, at Mark Twain Junior High and Mr. Anchor. But Miss Patterpuff was my ceramics teacher. So I have a lot of things that I made back then that I still have at home today. And Mr. Anchor, He was my crafts teacher, making wood and things. Oh my God. And Mr. Blackwood, who was one of the best teachers, just all around. Got it. I got where you're coming from. And I remember so many times coming to school crying, and he would take me aside and sit and talk with me. He's a good guy. I started working at Allen's Aquarium on Lincoln Boulevard when I was 11 years old. And I worked there for 26 years. I stopped working there in 1988. Probably longer than 26 years. But yes, I started working for Allen and at 11 and on Lincoln Boulevard, 1615 Lincoln Boulevard. Before that, it used to be called Miss Carter's Pet Shop. And working there Allen was like was a teacher. He was like my dad, because I had no father at that time. So I looked at him as my father. He just like raised me, taught me how to work the registers, how to greet people in the business. And then I went on to teach the rest of the employees and his children. I taught all of his children how to count, and now I'm considered the family. And then he moved on to a different location on Lincoln Boulevard and Rose, and I helped run that store. I was a manager. Working there was just so much fun. But after many, many years of working there, teaching the families, running the store, selling every kind of animal, we used to go out back then, Alan and I and some other employees, up to the mountains and everywhere. Well, working at a pet shop, my apartment was like a zoo. So I had snakes and fish and birds and parrots and all kinds of things. And plus, I loved to roller skate. So I started roller skating with my little snake when he was about this big on the boardwalk. And as he grew to be around 8 feet, I continued to skate with him. Like a ton of bricks on my back. But I was roller skating down the boardwalk. And I started. People would stop and ask me, hey, can I take a picture with you and your snake? So eventually I started doing the picture thing on the boardwalk. And I would make maybe $200 or $300 every 2 or 3 hours from having a crowd of people around me waiting to take a picture at $5 a picture. So I had 4 or 5 snakes at a time, and I would wrap everybody up, and I had a big crowd around me, and it was fun. It was fun, and until the police decided that you're making too much money, and they tried to put a stop to it. So as of right now, there is an ordinance on the books that there are no reptiles allowed on the boardwalk, on the Venice boardwalk, because of me. And they did a lot of they did a lot trying to keep me off that boardwalk, but I was adamant and I was having fun. So from the snakes, I turned to iguanas. So I had a big, huge iguana that would sit on top of my head, and I would roller skate down the boardwalk with a big iguana on my head, and I was doing pictures, and then they came off. The police came, ran me off the boardwalk. So then I started with the parrots. So I started skating down the boardwalk with 2 parrots on my hand, rolled up and down the boardwalk and doing dancing. And I was a skater. I skated a lot. So they called me Parrot Man and Snake Man. All I did on a regular basis after school and I get everything done is I would go to the beach and go to the nude part of the beach, which Venice Beach was back then. Matter of fact, Venice was nothing like it is right now. Venice Beach was quiet, but on the sand, straight out from Brooks, was all the gays, and all the gays were going nude, and it was a party, divine. All my friends skinny dipping. Of course you're nude, but swimming naked, and then eventually, as time went on, the people that from the boardwalk started coming down to where everyone was naked or nude on the beach, and it got bigger and bigger crowds and cameras and all that, and then eventually the city came down and stopped the nudity, and everything on the beach went to the boardwalk. And I believe, by being raised here, that's how Venice Beach got started. That's how the boardwalk is the way it is today, because of all this partying down there. I believe that, number one, there is a lot of, everybody has their own little, like this is my space of Culver City, and their attitudes there are totally different from the attitudes of the people that are in Venice and the ones in Santa Monica. Everybody has their own little community way of being. So if they start to clash, then you have how I feel is that you have like certain gangs don't like the Venice gang, they don't like the Santa Monica gangs, because each one has a gang. And these guys, they exist in their own communities, but they don't coexist. They cannot mix. And if they do, there's always hostility. If they get gather together, everybody's on edge. Everyone's walking on thin ice, like, okay, we're around each other. Okay, let's keep it together here, you know? So, yeah. I think it's gotten better because of the crack cocaine is gone. All the drugs have kind of subsided, even though it's still out there. The crack is gone. To me, the crack, it was the thing, because there was a lot of turf wars. A lot of my friends were killed and shot, standing on corners trying to sell crack in another person's area. And even relatives that were murdered because they were on someone else's corner. So the crack cocaine being just about eliminated has stopped all the violence that's been in the communities. And I think if we can get all that fentanyl and all that other stuff out of here, then everything could go with grace and ease. You know, but no one will be on edge, because I want to make that money. It's all about that money. It's all about that money. I have learned how to live in Venice. And living in Venice is a learning experience. You just can't come in and think it's all going to be hunky-dory. No, you have to learn to live in that environment, in this environment. And I've learned to live where I am now. And it doesn't bother me, because I've learned how to live there. It took me some years, but I learned. Oh, Venice is a fun place to be. You just go out there, enjoy yourself, have your cocktails, enjoy the view, enjoy the people that are around you. Just stay on your toes.